For today's design challenge, we are going to make a propeller fan. The supplies that we are going to need is some masking tape, a on and off power switch, the propeller fan, some copper tape, a coin cell battery, a 3-volt motor, and your cup, which is going to be the base of the fan. So first things first is with our motor, we are going to place it at the edge of our cup with our shaft pointing out. So it's going to have a little overhang like this. And you have the option of either hot gluing it to the base of the cup, or you could duct tape it or masking tape it. I normally use masking tape first, as it's not as permanent as duct tape. So if you're happy with the placement of your motor, after you've done masking tape, you could firmly secure it with duct tape if you like. I just do a couple of strips so it holds down to that edge. So next you'll have your 2 wires, which will kind of overhang on the side. And then from there, we are going to take our coin cell battery. This is our positive side, and if we flip it over, this is our negative side. On our motor, we have a black wire and a red wire. The black is our negative wire. So with a little bit of copper tape, we are going to tape this here. So my motor has wires that are really long. So if you want, you could cut those down, but I'm just gonna kind of bend them in half and place it on the battery. So it should look about like that. I think I'm gonna put more tape to cover that wire. Don't be shy with the copper tape. You want as much as you can to have contact, but keep in mind that you don't want to overdo it with the tape, because you might have too much and that might not let the electricity go through and have a smooth current. So if you do layer copper tape, just make sure all the tape is gonna have contact with one another. Okay, so that is our negative. The next thing I'm going to do is, so our battery is gonna be up this way, but I need to make a connection with here and here to operate this to be on and off. So I'm going to get more copper tape and put this switch on this end, while with the positive wire, I'm gonna connect tape here. Or I'm gonna connect the wire here, but I will do that last. Ooh, there you go. So at this point, because I'm making a connection here, with the free wire from the positive end, you could actually touch the metal and see if it operates the shaft. So it does, so that indicates that your motor is on. So just go ahead and push the button off, test it again. The switch is not on. So if you're working with your students at this part, it's safely to touch without it being powered. So since we had that great connection, we're actually gonna use some more copper tape to connect that end of metal with the end of that positive wire. Okay, so I ended up going above and beyond and actually wrapping the wire around that metal terminal, and then I closed it with copper tape. So at this point you have a connection. Your fan works. And then when you're happy with the place of your circuit, you could tape it in place with masking tape. But keep in mind that you still want access to this push button. So I've covered it pretty nicely with the tape as much as I can. Lastly, you are going to grab your propeller and you are going to poke it into the shaft of your motor. If this is too difficult, you could definitely put the motor on before you've taped everything down, but it should fit nice and snug. There it goes, it's not going anywhere. Okay, and then from there you could power your fan and you have just made yourself a portable fan.